YouTube channel. I'm literally talking channel, vessel, conduit. Yes, loving it. I was quite overwhelmed, if I'm going to be honest with you, looking at some of the reactions and comments to the last video I put up. Yes, people, how we doing? Where are we? Let's get to the top. Come on, Phil. Make sure you give everyone a big up. Where have we got? We've got more, we've got more, we've got more, we've got more. You were first off. Truth, money and freedom. Yes. Hello there, sir or madam. How you doing? It's never easy, this, you know. Determining the sex of someone by their avatar. And sometimes it can be done in a misleading way. Do I make you think they're a woman, they're a man? Got an hairy ass and everything. In some cases, there might be a woman. They want to make you think they're a man. So you never know. You can only go off what you see. So hello there. Who else we got? Panda View. Well, I hope you're through now, Panda View. I hope you're through now, Panda View. Hope you're through now, Panda View. Hope you're through now, Panda View. Yes, it's you. So that will happen from time to time. Oh, you rang the warning bells on this matter ages ago. Hope you're well, mate. I'm fine. Thank you very much. 22. Oof. That's a bit funny. Yeah, I'm fine. Getting on with it. Great, in fact, considering. Totally acknowledging that if I was on a spectrum of how I feel, I don't have to worry about me. You know what I mean? If I'm on a diving board now, I'm not on the highest diving board. And I'm not on the lowest one either. So it's one of them. It's just acknowledging that some people are lost within this and some people are struggling like mad. So yeah, I'm fine. One thing I will say, Panda, is when you say you rang the warning bell on this matter ages ago, you know what? I did bring this up well earlier, and it was a good stream that I felt was poignant, and that point has come to pass. I've just been looking at the date because you made me think of that, and thank you for saying that, Panda. It was the 18th of March. Now, that's around the first lockdown. I think we were just about going into lockdown. I may have just been giving up work or whatever, but yeah, and the video is called Will Fear Be More Detrimental Than Corona? And that's how early it was. They'd not even changed it to COVID yet. So unfortunately, I could see it. The writing was on the wall. Having said that, I'm still shocked and flabbergasted on how severe the fear porn has been pumped. That is a swimming pool. They've just gunked it with so much toxic waste. You know what I mean? And that's how it feels. I'm totally surprised at that. Who else we got in? Hey, no way. Is the Mighty McTavish made it? No way. Yes, Jake. Wow. Ontario. Yes. Nice one. Glad you could make it. And, you know, you've given me a glimmer of hope there, sir, because the weather's not that bad today, but we do tend to feel a bit more miserable in this country because of the conditions we're under, as well as the current weather system that we've been having, mate. So at least someone else is going through something that's, you could actually say, is a bit more severe than ours. So, sorry, Jake, but if you're taking the bullet for the subbers, then, mate, go for it, mate. Pleasure. Thank you very much. McTavish, you're in. Yes. Tracer, how you doing? Thank you for them nice words as well, Tracer, on the previous comments on the video. Thank you very much for that. Who else we got in? Oh, yes. Male. Right. Now we know. Now we know. Yes, the Mighty Ann. And honestly, a lot of these subbers have been here from day dot. or at least very early on. So you've seen my journeys, you've seen everything going up and down, and no doubt you've had a journey within yourself. Yes, Rob. Yes, Hobbs. A few years ago, no areas. Well, that's good. What is it, a back cracking sack then, or what? No idea why I was wearing sunglasses at night. Because if you're playing a gig, it's a cool thing to do, innit? You're at a festival, you want to look like you're down. And you might have been a little bit inebriated. So the eyes might have been telling their own story. So enough rather than expose that to the world, glasses cover it. Why do you think John Lennon and all them used to wear the glasses? Because they were mashed out the face half the time. And if you're going to be interviewed, if one eye's looking over there and one eye's looking over there, it's not going to come across well. So you just bang on a pair of blue glass shades and boom, all of a sudden you're cool. And you kill two birds with one stone. Hey, who else have we got in? Yes, thank you. Oh, thank you. Much love in here. Getting this. Yes. Yeah, another one. What really? Really? Are you two next door neighbours? Are you married or something? What, go on in? Oh, right. Okay. Right. Okay. Let me just briefly get into this, right? And let's look through some of them. Thank you very much, anyway, for jumping on a spontaneous stream. And there's one chap or one person in particular that I did agree to on the comment section, and that is Strawman. Now, has Strawman entered the building? That's what I need to know. Quite important to know that at this point. Because what I'm going to do, yes, Amanda, yes, Rob, Bob, Strong Angel, Emma Jane, Babs, yes, thank you all. And I think one of you mentioned that this might be a hit. You know, when I'm looking at the response that I got through the comment section, it is, I think I want to get someone in here. I want to get Strawman, and there was someone else as well, but I need to be able to see. Oh, yes, Babs. First time in it. Well, welcome along to the frigging nut house. Yeah. Population, the whole stream. Yeah, because we're clearly going mad. But we're in good company, so we're all right. Right, so have we got Strawman in the house? Phil, are you all right, mate? You seem to be catching a bad dose of lefty feelings. BS. What's that supposed to mean? What does that actually mean? I can't answer that because I don't actually know what you mean. Lefty feeling BS. I don't get what that means. What are you saying? I've gone all soft. I know what bull is, babes. I know the BS bit. It's the lefty bit. I don't get it. That was my daughter interjecting, trying to break down. I didn't know what BS was. You know what I mean? Anyway. Lefty feeling sorry for one's soft. Oneself. Soft, exactly. Nah, mate. Come on, dude. Come on. What are you not getting about what I'm trying to do here? Seriously? All you're doing is divvying yourself out. You're going a leftist, so I don't necessarily have anything familiar with a leftist, so they're over there. I'm not like that, and I haven't been like that for a good while. I started this YouTube for very many reasons, and I'm a people person, Strong Angel. I don't diversify. You've just diversified yourself. So, title of the videos. Right, mate, whatever. All I'm going to say is you have got a choice, aren't you? I mean, if you feel I'm going left there, then clearly I'm not the person for you. What I will say is, thank you, Bob. At least someone's getting it, you know. And when I'm walking down the street and I'm seeing someone who looks mentally taken in by all this, who is now physically a manifestation of fear being pumped into to the point where how they act with the outside world. At what point do you put a paradigm on that? You know what I mean? So that's the last I'm going to say on it, because that I'm hoping is the only kind of negative spike that I'm going to get within this. You've got a right to your opinion, sir, by all means. And if you think that's how I've gone, then that's fine. I'm a humanist. I'm someone who loves human beings. I don't put myself in a box. If you remember, the very first thing I done on a video was tell an individual that she was bang out of order for putting me in a box. And y'all subscribe to my channel because of that. So now, because I'm doing the same thing, and clearly from the way you're talking, you're quite happy to put yourself in a box. I'm freer than that. You're clearly not. So it's up to you. I mean, this is the one thing why I've opened this stream. I want to talk to people and get their feelings out. People, how we are dealing with it. I don't care what your color is. I don't care what your paradigm is. If you've got respect, if you've got decency, if you can string a sentence together, if you want to keep your anonymity, that is fine. But we don't need to play silly little games when this stream right here, for whatever time it's going to be on, looking at the comment section means so much to so many people. So don't have to do that. You don't have to do that. Oh, here we go. So I'm a psychologist. No, I'm not, mate. Do I have to be? Seriously? I like people. I can look in people's eyes, and they do say the eyes are the window to the soul. So are you a psychologist for trying to psychoanalyze me? And that's the last I'm going to say on it. So Strawman, is Strawman in the house? If not, would anyone else like to come on? Anyone else? It's daft, isn't it? I mean, you come on a stream, you try and help people, and then you know, is that the blue mist that I was talking about, isn't it? That's the blue mist. Do you see what happened there? You see the blue mist that comes around someone when they come at you with a certain vein, and they're visible. They're like, whoa, man, you're in the swimming pool, and that blue mist is now just floating out from underneath you. Man, that's ugly. It's like, Jesus, I didn't come here for this. And the best thing is, you guys don't want that either. Rob, it was you that agreed to come in on the weekend, wasn't it? In terms of the UFO. Am I right in saying that? And same with you, Double O. I'd already kind of pre-planned to do a UFO thing with you guys. Am I correct in saying that? Because if I am, then if you don't mind, I'd rather send the link to someone pretty much anonymous who actually wants to talk about the way they feel. You know what I mean? And I'm not trying to dissuade what is going on in your life, but what I'm saying is you'll get your chance at the weekend. Well, I'm going to send the link out. I will invite you in. I will send it in here, and then you press it. Now, oh, yes. Carol, how are you doing? Stream, I'd like you to meet a lovely lady. Carol Shrigler, aka Nanny Robinson. Nanny Robinson, aka Carol Shrigler, I'd like you to meet the stream. How are you both doing? Yes, Carol. No, I'm not. I'm not. Just low energy. Yeah, Babs. Hopefully it'll be good. Hopefully it'll be good. I've spoke about it. Yeah, Rob. Right. So Rob's on it. Right, Rob. Me and you weekend. What about Double O? Is he got that? Yes, Carol. I'm glad you're doing brilliant. Come on, I want someone in. Someone in who is not been on this channel before. Someone who doesn't mind having a one-to-one chat, and someone who's just going to be honest. And you don't have to tell people anything you don't want to tell them. You can be as well, just be as open as you want. It's up to you. I'm not here to get things out of you that you don't want to let people know. It's just literally, how are you feeling? Simples. Cheer up, man. Right, who wants to come in? Who wants to come in? Yes, Anne, thank you very much. Because I had a couple of people on the comment section here that wanted to come in. Yes, how we doing, Dolly? Good to see you. Fair play. Fair play. It's societal declines that we're witnessing. And same again, I don't want people to think this is going to be a dowdy miserable. It's not, man. Come on. All I'm saying is, if we were sat on a couch, how are you feeling? You know what I mean? I'm not trying to depress you by that. In fact, I'm trying to uplift you because I'm trying to make you hear what other people's perceptions are and how they're feeling and how it's affecting their life. I mean, the one goal I want to do here is to have a catalogue of people over a possession of time that have explained the true feelings and interpretations of not only how it's affecting them, but the family members, because then that will be documented for all to see and to be able to go, right, I'm hearing the fear porn from there. I'm going to go over there now and listen to someone that has been affected by that in whatever way. I want to hear what comes from them. I don't want them to be shouting who's to blame for it. I just want them to tell me how they feel about it. You know what I mean? Right, here we go. We got one in. Right, you don't know how to get in. I'll show you how to get in. Kaz Babs, here's how we do it, okay? I am going to copy this link right here, okay? And I am going to now flick it in the chat so you'll see. Double O, would you mind, mate? We'd agreed for the UFO thing at the weekend. I'd be starstruck, mate. Come on, Great Brit, what you like? Be starstruck. You've been one of my oldest confidants in this, starstruck. Jesus Christ. Right, okay. So, where are we? Here we go. I'm going to put that link in there now, yeah? So, I want that chat. Who was it who says, Kaz, wasn't it? Kaz, jump in, Kaz. Jump in. And I'm hoping this will be the first of many. You know what I mean? Many chats with people about their feelings. It's not a complex things. You know what I mean? I don't want to be on here giving you my thoughts and hypotheses all the time. I want to hear what you feel and how it makes you feel, and sat in the house, what's going through your head. You got anxiety on the rise. I was hearing off other videos before, divorce is on the rise. I mean, so we can't have a stream just saying how you feel. Will that not make you feel a little bit better? Yes. Device not connected. Your guests will need to connect their mic or cam before you can add them to the stream. Okay, Kaz, I don't know whether you can hear me, but as long as you follow the steps as you're going through, you've stuck your name in. I think you need to enable your microphone or your camera or both. So if you do that, then we're on. Are we on? Yes. B? Who's B? Who's B? B's just jumped in. Come on, Kaz. Where are we, Kaz? Have we got Kaz in the house or what? Oh, Kaz has dropped out. Come on, Kaz. Jump back in. Right. Who's B? Private chat. You bullied me here. What are you on about? B? Right. I don't know whether this. I'll tell you what. If this kind of goes the way it's gonna go, and people utilize this for just being a little bit silly, then it's a shame, isn't it? It's a shame. We've got strong game. Okay. Hello there. Can you hear me?
Hello there. Can you hear me?
I can hear you.
Can you hear
sir,
me?
Yeah, I can. Can you hear me?
I can hear you, but
Hey, oh, you've just gone. Right.
yeah,
Kaz
good.
is in.
I
Right.
can hear you.
Right. Are you okay?
I'm
you
fine,
okay,
thank
sir?
you. Yes.
Oh, have we got a bit of a delay thing going on?
But your sound is yeah, there's a delay going on.
Right. Well, can I just say something, mate? Would it be okay if I just removed you just for 5 or 10 minutes whilst I bring Kaz in? And hopefully, if I bring you back in again, then it might improve the reception, because the delay may be a problem and Kaz has just returned back to the stream. I apologize for that. Would that be okay? Oh, I don't know whether he's totally gone anyway.
We can talk whenever you want. It'll be a good conversation.
Okie dokie, mate. Thank you very much for your patience. Cheers, buddy. Okay. Right, Kaz. Hello, Kaz.
Hi.
Hello, Kaz. How are you?
Hello. I have got feedback. I've got you talking to me twice.
Really? Does that improve it any?
No, it's still repeating.
Right. Just let me try and remove Strong Angel just to see if that was the issue. Can't see how it would be, but let me just see. Has that improved it at all, Kaz?
No, I'm still getting another. You're speaking twice.
Right. How's that?
Duplicating it.
How's that? Is that any better?
No, still doing it.
Oh wow! Right. Oh, that
I
is.
know it's a pain, isn't it?
That is a pain because from here I don't see what I can actually do here now. I've done everything I could possibly do, and I can't understand why you would be hearing me double anyway. To be fair, because I've got nothing overlapping now. I've took my headphones out, so I tried it there, so I'm not sharing two microphones. Is this going to be awkward for you to do as it is now?
I think it is, because as I'm talking, you're talking over me.
What a shame. What a shame.
I know.
I've just been asked to ask you, is it Kaz K? But I'm not sure. Hello, Kaz, can you hear me? Is it Kaz K? Are you Kaz K?
Yes, I am Kaz.
Oh, is it Kaz K or just Kaz?
Just Kaz. Kaz Babs, Kaz.
Okie doke. Right. Should we carry on then, or what? Okay. Do you want to carry on, Kaz, with the way it is?
I can try. I'm lip reading as you're talking because I can hear stuff in the back.
What what a shame, because that, it doesn't spell for a good interview when it goes like this. But I really want to try, even if it's just for 5 minutes. And thank you very much for your time. What I will say, Kaz, how are you feeling currently at this moment in time?
Okay, how am I feeling at this time? Absolutely terrible. I've my daughter lost her job back in March. She was devastated. She lost it when the schools closed down. She has now left the country. She's gone to live with her boyfriend in Norway. And I've been left on my own. So, yeah.
Oh, wow. Wow. Okay, so let's break that down a little bit. Can I ask how old your daughter is?
She's 30.
30. Okay.
I'm 58. So she's sort of been at home for a very long time. So I'm left on my own now. Right. But that's not the only thing that's worrying. I'm sorry if I'm stuttering. It's just I've got voices in my head. I don't want to go out anymore. I can't wear the masks because I just don't want to wear them. I hate going shopping. I hate going outside. Nobody's smiling. There's no conversation anymore. I'd love to go and just sit in a coffee shop like I used to, and have a coffee and a chat, and just can't do it anymore.
Yes, I totally understand. On a personal level, because we could divvy this two separate ways, your interpretation on how other people are feeling it and your own personal journey within this. No doubt this has been incremental and a drip, just like with everyone else. At first, we were all in disbelief, in some ways very dogged. And maybe that's not changed in any way. Common sense is always going to be there. With the effects of how you see your friends and how you envisage your daughter now having to do, technically, that has changed your future life patterns.
Yeah.
Can you ever see that changing at this current time?
No, I don't see this ever going back to how it was. There's an agenda that I wasn't aware of a few months ago that has become more sort of open as we go forward. If there's one thing I've known in my life, that once the government takes steps and they sort of start imposing on people, it never goes backwards. We will always have to do that. This will go to the point where you will have to have a passport to health or whatever. You will probably have to have the vaccine or something like that. I do understand there are people that are fighting our corner, but whether they'll win or not, I don't know. And I do think we're headed towards mass surveillance.
Mm.
I think our children, having lost a year of school, we're going to see the implications of that in about a few years' time, of the damage that's been done to our children, not just educationally or intellectually, but socially, mentally, emotionally. I had two babies. I had two children, and I can't ever have imagined putting something over their face the way they are today. I fear for our future. I do.
I agree, and this is not solemn to say this. It's being honest, and if everyone looks in the mirror or get on a bus to go to work, you'll look at someone, and no doubt that thought will go through everybody's head.
Exactly.
We all want the certainty. We've been used to certainty. We've been used to plans, but they've all been crushed in so many different ways. It's left people lost, dejected, and many people that cannot cope with this. What I would say, Kaz, is that you certainly coming across as a very strong individual in order to witness this, see this, and obviously for it to affect your family in the way and still be able to articulate it to be positive, although it's clearly having a psychological effect on yourself, as it will be with me when I'm walking around and I see what I see. So kudos to you for still staying in the game on the mentality front, because it's difficult, Kaz.
It is difficult. I want to stand on a podium and scream at people. I want to scream at people to take those bloody masks off. You're not doing yourself or anybody any favors, but that's what people do. You know, it's like people. I'm sorry, I'm listening to myself now in my bloody earphones. It's like somebody wants to be better than somebody else by following the rules better than somebody else so they can be the teacher's pet or the... Do you understand what I mean? It's like that mentality.
It's like the seeking approval or their actions. It puts them in a certain club that makes them feel as if they're doing the right thing. But it's the blinded part of that ultimately that is the worst path you could go down. We're losing more humanity by doing that, even though that collective idea does sound very sexy and attractive.
Yeah.
What puts you in a good place, Kaz? What has got you through this?
I am a pretty strong person, I think. I've had my fair share of hard life, or hard knocks during my life. I've had to overcome a lot of difficulties. And I've just learnt to cope, I suppose, mentally. I am very spiritual, and I'm not religious, not at all. And I think that's the only salvation that we have is to look to yourself, to understand yourself. Do you understand? Totally. You need to go inside your own head and listen to your inner voice. Do you understand what I'm saying?
I'm totally resonating, Kaz.
Because what we see happening around us is theatre. It is our perceptions of what's happening. And we have to overcome the feelings that we have and look at it for what it really is. And fear is one of the easiest things to manipulate us with. And I think that people should stop watching the news, stop listening to the government, and start, listening to themselves. What is it you're actually seeing? What is it you're actually experiencing? Not what other people are telling you. That's my philosophy.
And it sounds a very good one, Kaz. My word, I can hear the strength in your voice. So going back again, Kaz, what makes you feel good in this ugly environment of the mind?
What makes me feel good is that I have the vision and the open-mindedness to actually see it for what it is. And all I want is for other people to listen to me and open your mind and open your eyes.
Can't ask for any more than that, Kaz. Can't ask for any more than that. And it's almost to say, the strange thing is, Kaz, when did we stop doing that? Because it must have stopped quite some time ago. Probably the warning signs have been here for some years. The polarization, the divvying up of left and right, and someone was calling me a lefty before. So, all that dividing people.
Yeah. You've got to stop listening to it.
Mm.
Open your eyes and listen to your heart. It's just not there. You are being absolutely swamped by all of this propaganda and bullshit that's being pumped out from every possible place, radio station. I've turned my radio off. Everywhere it's being thrown at you.
Mm.
But the problem is, it's not coming from the people necessarily around you. It's things that other people are saying.
Yes, it's the if you hit any population that's lost, dejected, with even a modicum of this fear, it'll work, Kaz. So I'm not surprised we're here, if I'll be honest with you.
I'm not surprised.
You know.
It's been a very slow boil over a few decades. Very, very slow, bit by bit by bit, introducing another ism or another, fear or another threat. And slowly but sure, we've got to the point now where we feel like we have this threat around us all the time, whether it's terrorism or whether it's your neighbor who's going to tell on you, or whether it's a virus, or do you understand what I mean? It's been building up over years.
Yeah. The breakdown of the community, you could argue,
The breakdown of?
With the community, how people...
Oh, that's definitely gone. I mean, I'm 58 years old. I'm not that old. It's not that long ago when I was a 10-year-old running around the streets. And if I misbehaved, my neighbors would tell me off, But now we've got to the point where, for some reason, nobody can say a damn word about anything. And where I live, the kids run riot. They really do. And they get away with murder. But slowly but surely, that community is being eroded. I lived in South Africa for a very long time. And the saying there is, it takes a village to raise a child. And that is true. It takes a community to raise a child.
Wow.
I don't think that we interact with each other enough the way that we used to. And by becoming so detached, we have, this is where we are now. This is why it's so easy. We're not connected like we used to be.
Certainly, the connection itself, the erosion, and it's so easy now to polarize a population when your next door neighbor, you barely want to talk to them, you barely see them, or in many ways you have this element because everyone's got this lust for materialism now, because this is what's being projected at you rather than being an important individual in society. No, it's about what you've got on. So it can be a competition thing. People can downscale people because of the way they look, the way they dress. And humbly, you'd have to say we're all individual spirits. We've all come from the same place and we're all going to the same place. So
exactly.
The bit in between is very strange how we all act.
I think people have become so insular. They are too focused on the material things around them. How much have they got? How much can they get? That type of thing. That we're forgetting that we have a connection with each other. That money and things and possessions have override everything now. I mean, people can't, I don't know. I don't know how to explain it. Why can't we just love each other?
Yeah. It sounds a really a fairy tale concept, but ultimately we tell as a nurturing mother, when a nurturing mother looks into the eyes of the baby, when does that go? when does that transcend to two strangers? You'll forget where they come from and that love, that bond, that nurturing. So all of a sudden, they want to beat the crap out of each other over something frivolous. Forget who
know.
they are as an individual and just want to knock the bells out of one another and leave each other on in the floor. It's the most unconscious way of being. And I'm 50 years of age, Kaz. You're 50 something.
8.
But what I will say is we're not too far away from when them values was very much treasured, and probably before so with progression things do change anyway. What is beautiful is that people like yourself constantly talk about them values, even if they're eroding from entities around. The fact that we have still got the power within us to know, see it, and maybe inject that into our life more so to make our own life better, which may rub off on other people. So maybe at this point now it's stop screaming to the world with YouTube clips and work on yourself, like you said before. And by doing that, that can make your closer knit circle a better circle. Then work out from there. We're there. We've gone, Kat?
Yeah, I understand that. No, I'm still here. I'm listening to you finish your sentence on my
delay. Sorry.
I think it's important. I mean, I've had many people come in and out of my life, and I've helped a lot of people. They go on, I don't speak to a lot of them anymore. But my motto is that if I can help one person realize a dream or get over a barrier or something like that can help them, that is fulfilling for me. I have a friend. She's not my friend anymore, but she was a heroin addict. And I went through months of being, and I was very hard on her, but it was hard love. And she has not used for nearly 2 years. She found herself a fella, and she's disappeared, and now she's gone on her merry way. But that makes me feel good. That does it for me.
Well, I'd love to talk more, Kaz, because there's plenty more people jumped. I can't believe how popular this is turning out. But what I will say, thank you for your time, and thank you for your honesty on this subject. What I will leave it with, and I think you've touched it there, we've got a choice in life whether you want to make a positive fingerprint around you that's indelible or a negative one. It's which one do you want?
Positive, definitely.
You can see the effects, can't you?
I heard something the other day which was actually quite true. Put out the positive feelings, smile all the time, make sure that the energy around you is that of a positive energy, and that will affect the people around you. And hopefully, if everybody does that, we should be okay.
Kaz, is there any chance you could take over my channel, please?
No, I can't. I'm shaking. I've never spoken on air before. I am shaking.
Oh, for real, Kaz?
Never.
Honestly, Kaz, you've been honest there, even to the point of that, but to the point of you saying how you truly felt about when you're speaking there, no one would have known that you were nervous through that. Now, I hope you understand that.
I'm actually, I've done lecturing as well, so I know how to cover it.
You have done amazing. We've had a one-to-one chat. You've been forthright with your feelings. And all I can say, I'm not a trained psychiatrist. I like listening to people. I get vibes off people. The best of luck to you. You have got strength. I am amazed and I'm buzzing that you are my first caller, because you have set the stall out for good, positive energy. You've told me the good and the bad in all that, but you're seeing the good, and that in itself is going to lift people up. I pray that you do come to see your daughter again, and very soon. And I hope she's doing good wherever she is.
Thank you.
please keep in touch through the comments section. If I see the name now, I'll be sure to look out for it and just
Okay.
keep an eye out. Thank you very much for talking to me, Kaz.
You are welcome.
Brilliant. Thank you
Okay.
very much. See you now.
All right. Okay then. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye. Bye. Boom. Boom. It was a pity about the echo there because it did affect the delay, but man, nervous. She sounded mint. She was well on it. So thank you to Kaz. Thank you to Kaz. This is something new going on here, and I hope people enjoyed what Kaz had to say there. Yes. 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 Come on, Kaz. Look, big yourself up. Big yourself up. You know what I mean? Shy. Nervous. They wasn't in your vocal tones, Kaz. You've got strength. You come across very well. And you let us know on the insights into your family, into your personal life, but on how it's affecting you. Love you. Well done, Kaz. You keep beaming that positivity out. Because, man, you were building me up through there. I'm like, shizzle, I might just go in here and leave Kaz to it. That's why I said, do you want my channel? Bleeding hell. Come back. Come back. Come back, Kaz. Look at that. You want me off now, Kaz? Nice one. You railroaded me. Oh, that was brilliant. That was brilliant. Right, okay. We've got more people in here now. We've got more. We've got like a little soiree. We've got a Strong Angel. Right, let me get him in because he was in before. Hello, mate. You okay?
Hello there. Can you hear me?
I can. Can you hear me okay?
Yeah, it's all good.
Excellent. How are you feeling, sir?
Well, I'm not too bad. I have to say that. I'm a little bit older than the pair of you I've just been listening to. I'm 62.
Mm-hmm.
I've spent the last year completely looking at coronavirus, and I'm sure everybody else has too, from every point of view. And then in the course of all that, I came across a group of people called the British Constitutional Group. And at the same time, I was looking into the Constitution, how Parliament viewed the Constitution. And actually, about 2 hours ago, I rang up the British Constitutional Group. I rang up their deputy director and asked if they'd like to come into court with me or come into an open debate. Because the matter of fact is that these people and people like them, and it's been going on a long time, as Kaz kindly noted, they've been doing things that are exactly against the Constitution of the United Kingdom, which I'll remind everybody is formed as a promise to Almighty God by John, who, by the grace of goodness, by the grace of God, is King of England. So what's actually being said in the first line of the Magna Carta in the preamble is John, by Jesus, the grace of God is Jesus. So John is saying by Jesus, or in Jesus' name, the King of England. So Jesus is the King of England. And then he's saying the bishops and everybody else all agree to this. Now, why this is important is two reasons. First of all, Jesus gave one commandment, and that is to love everybody equally. However, he also said, Satan, get behind me. In other words, not beside me or not in my house, but out of the way. You know, it was quite strong language. He would like kick this guy out of the way. What I'm saying is, and it can only function as a 100% Christian constitution forever. And that is actually written at the two of the acts, the Act of Supremacy, 1558, and the Bill of Rights, 1688, which Tony Blair made a mockery of. And if you look at what they've done with constitutional law in the last 20 years, they've made a mockery of. For example, it cannot be by virtue of the Constitution, the actual Constitution, not the one trying to sell, one single Muslim, Hindu, or Jew, or any other person in Parliament making laws for Christians. End of. Now, that problem began in 1849 with an act called the Jewish Disability Act, when the Prime Minister at the time was being urged by various Jewish bodies, in particular the Rothschilds, to let one of them in Parliament as a Jew.
Right, okay,
Prior to that, Judeo-Christian, that meant...
I don't need to...
Hang on, because it's an intellectual conversation.
mate. But I'm not come on this stream.
I'm not talking
for
about
this purpose.
racism now. I'm talking
No, but
about
what I'm saying is,
Constitution.
mate, the whole purpose. Sir, can I just finish? I'm sorry.
I'm trying to explain the Constitution to you.
I know you are, sir. But what I'm also saying to you is that this is a free, open commons. So you are. But the ultimate thing, the reason why I've had this stream is to talk about personal experiences with the individual over what's going on. We've done the talking with, and there will be other talks on that. But specifically for this stream, I want to know how you are feeling. That's pretty much it. So if you want to kind of
I'm explaining to you
no, not your personal feelings on
experiences based upon
the bits of
information to allow people in Parliament.
No, mate, I'm saying what I'm saying is I want to get really personal here with you. So telling me the Constitution really is not helping individuals who want to listen how people are coping with it. And I appreciate your line of inquiry and your information. I'm not trying to say
who wanted to create. We're talking about race here or color of skin, and other constitutions have come in and messed it up.
Right. So can we get back to how you are, sir? How are you finding?
Well, as I said, I'm 62. I'm perfectly all right. I've been through it all.
Right.
I've lost marriage. I've lost children. I've had all of that. I know about the 1989 Children's Act. I know the reasons why. I don't want to live in a bubble like, oh my God, what am I going to do? I want to be positive with people. I want us to help us drive forward and sort this issue out. And there's only one way. We need to get these people in a court, not on the streets, not running around with cameras going, oh yeah, what are you doing? We need to get them in the court and we need to properly sue them, and we need to re-establish the Constitution of the United Kingdom so that we can all go back to being something like happy and a unified group of people working together and enjoying each other's company, as opposed to a group of people being manipulated, messed around with by institutions, flu mergers. And do you remember the 1976 flu, Phil? I do.
Not really. I was only 6 years of age.
It was my first couple of years of work. Everybody in the country was ill with the flu. We didn't all not go to work. And decorator. I do a lot of that myself. I've been out to work with all manner of things, with my hands hanging off. Earning money was more important than me. And that actually, the countries should be more important than the person. The country's economy should be more important than the individuals in the country. And actually, let's face it, they're killing off our elderly people. The very people who you say we should care about, these guys are actually killing them off, and nobody's had them in a court.
Well,
and we should have them in a court. We should be putting our money into a court case.
Okay, let me say something here, because there's a little bit of one way you're coming out straight out, and I appreciate you've got a lot to say, but fine. Same again, I'll say again, I want to tackle this on a personal level. Now, on a connection, on a conscious level, it has to come back to, the court system, we know everything is encroaching us. What do you feel is more important, you as an individual or your country? Hello?
My country,
hello,
any day of the week, because my country is the future. I believe you come back again. That's the situation. The guy who represents a soul who's going to return to life again. So I'm setting up my country in this life for my next life. And I can explain that 3 stations with, actually, it goes right back to Genesis 1. And this is why I can beat these guys in a constitutional argument, because actually the word Almighty is derived from code that is found in the first line of Genesis 1, i.e. YX, YM, YM, which if you read it backwards is my mighty. That's where it comes from. Now that's where I work. If somebody says to me, read a Bible, I want to know the original language it was written in, and then I go and look at the original language, which is exactly what I have done.
Yeah. Personally, everyone's got their own opinion.
So we need to get ourselves together, guys, all of us, and stop thinking about our individual selves and where are we going and what's going to happen. We need to actually...
So there's something contradictory about that, though, mate, if I'm going to be honest. Because how can you look after the country if you've not yet looked after yourself? So I've just started the conversation with Kaz, saying about how this time, if this is not the time to internalize, grab your own internal strength, and then that manifests out into making your ultimate surroundings a better place. You've just said the exact opposite, where I don't care how I feel, it's all about my country. So what I'm saying is,
Well,
if go on, mate, go on.
Well, actually, I haven't said the exact opposite. I have thought about.
I asked you the question. I did ask
completely.
You the question. What?
And then what I've done is I've said, well, what is the problem? And I'm not physically ill. I haven't got the corona, so it's not my constitution that is the problem. So what is allowing these guys to go around putting out a fraud disease, and it is a fraud. You know it's a fraud. We all know it's a fraud. What is allowing these guys to whip money off us in the banks? Do you know, under the Constitution, nobody can lend money and ask interest for it. There can be no interest on credit cards, because what did Jesus do with anybody doing interest?
The money lenders, he whipped.
And all of these little things have passed people by because of offside the Constitution. Now, I'm not necessarily religious. I don't deny people want to have a religion. Remember, when the Magna Carta was signed, the religious people were given some freedom on the land. So they were given some freedom, meaning the people X and the Y on the flag, on the X, and the cross on the flag of the Union Jack means, and the St. George. And actually, those two crosses go back beyond Christianity. They came here with the Phoenicians, 2000 BC. Hence the ancient rites that are built into the various bills and acts. That flag is Phoenician. It's not Christian at all. And the original Genesis 1 was written in Phoenician. He rewrote from their story, and they had to by proxy because in there is the code. The code exists only in books of the Bible, by the way. Genesis 1, John 1, Secundum Ionem, and the Apocalypse Ionis, which is the book of Revelations. Only in them three books do you find X code. And X code is the secret of life. It tells you everything about life in that code. The past, Genesis 1, the present, John 1, the future, Revelations. The rest of the Bible, and I don't mean this in any Bible to anybody, you might as well just put it in the library and forget about it.
You come across a very informed individual, right? You've just outlaid everything. You've literally come out the traps. And particularly, I wanted this stream to be a more personal stream, and you've come out with powerful information. Now, what I'm saying is, unfortunately, do you think that anyone who's going to watch this stream now, who is probably wanting to listen to people on how they feel about what's going on, do you think they're going to get anything from that to sufficient use that's going to help their life once they've turned the stream off and empower them as an individual? Right now, I'm not saying this information is unimportant. I'm saying when you're trying to have a more emotional connection on building people's inner self, literally ranting about Constitution, is that the way to do it, do you think?
Well, I'm not ranting, and I do want to help people, and I think that the only way that people will be helped in this situation is to get a real grip and actually join together as one mind, not try and focus on their own self. So, you know, you've used some disparaging language with me this afternoon. You've called me, for one thing, you called me out for calling you a lefty, which I never did. I was actually, I was having a laugh. And
you've got to appreciate that sometimes when people
I think
write
sums up this entire situation entirely. Everybody seems to have forgotten how.
Hello, are you still there?
Anyway, Phil, listen, with due respect, because I love you. I've watched your show for a long period of time, and I'm sure you know, because you will have seen my comments. I'm going to pull out. A lot of people know who I am. A lot of people, trust me. So if any of them people want to get in contact with me, I'm on Wake Up UK. I do go on live there regularly. You are a very few and far between thing. I don't often do things live.
Well, sir, thank you for your
All
time.
I'm going to say to people is past this question, and it leaves to people this. Look, there are some guys out there myself who work hard in the background, and we've got the answer. We know how to deal with this government, and all of the ones that have been the 60 or 70 MPs who were part of the Unite Against Fascism, helping the girls, pimping the girls out. We know how to deal with these people. What we need is, instead of everybody funding this march and funding that demo and this, that, and the other, is get in touch with us. Let's get a decent group together. Let's produce a case in the courts. And I will guarantee one thing. I will guarantee I put my name and my entire soul existence, my eternal existence on this call. We will win the case. And we will get these people out. Now, if that doesn't get people chivied up and help them through this, I don't know what will. Phil, I love you, as I said. You're a great guy. One day you and I do a job. I'll be your labourer, mate. I'll be happy to do that. I'll come and stir the buckets for you.
Well,
you can
sir,
get me doing. You can get me doing a bit of rolling as well. I'm pretty adept at glossing, and I'm very good with a knife.
I do apologise if you've took anything I've said, and when I've said rant, that is probably the wrong thing to say to you. So ultimately, I do apologise. What it is, and I'll explain again. Oh, he's gone. What it is, and I'll explain. Let me just turn the light on, guys. Listen, it's not that anything that guy was saying, I wasn't buying it. It's not that the person, I don't like him. This stream was designed for a specific reason. This is not a day for facts. This is not a day for constitution. I could have done that myself. And now I'm not saying I would have done a better job than this guy. I could have sat and done a video and edited and stayed out the way and done that. This was specifically to connect with individuals. Now, this individual, this guy, Stone Angel, I think he was called, I would gladly to have a chat specifically on what he wanted to talk about at a separate time. Today, it's about connecting with people. That's all. I don't see the relevance, and I might be wrong here. I don't see the relevance in me pumping constitutional law after constitutional law to the likes of Kaz right now. I don't see how that is going to make her feel better about a daughter that is just having to lost a job and then gone away, moved away. And now Kaz don't want to go out anywhere. Right now, that's not going to help her. What I was trying to create with this stream is an environment where people have got their exercising and expressing their true innermost feelings on this situation. I can't say by you doing that, I'm going to heal it. I've got any answers. All I'm doing is allowing you to say how this is affecting my life. So same again, Strong Angel, I do apologize, but the constitutional law and all the massive information you were bringing there is not the way I wanted this stream to go. That was it, mate. So I'm sorry, and I do apologize again if people wanted that information and they felt that I've cut him short from that. If he wants to come back on again, I will more than happily have a chat on that specific point. But I wanted to keep it specific, so I hope people do get that, really. And his connection was poor, yeah, it was. But yeah, you know, I just, you know, I don't want to start things on here because it's not about that, really. And thank you anyway to Strong Angel for coming on. And same again with the text thing. You've got to take it on the other side that a joke is hard to interpret via a text. So when you text something, you might mean it as a joke, but then it's the way it's read and the way it looks. Unless you use certain words that alludes me to the thinking that you are joking, I don't know. So maybe that's me bad again. Bleeding hell. But I was trying, you know, we're all trying. So anyway, Right, come on, Tracer. Right, Tracer. I'm gonna have you got? Do you want me to send in another link or what? Right, this is for Tracer. Come in here, Tracer. Let's have a little chat. Let's see how you're feeling. And thank you to anyone coming on. Seriously, you know it's always appreciated to hear people's thoughts. Is it not gone in? Yep. There it is, Tracer. Yep. Let's have it. Oh, well, while we're doing that, let's is this Danny?
Hello.
Hello, Danny.
Hey, Phil.
How you doing?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm okay, my friend. Trying to stay positive. More to the point, how are you with everything that's going on?
I'm good. I'm carrying on as normal. Like when you were talking about before, I mean, I've been watching for a while. How it's a bit affecting individuals. It's not actually affecting individuals. It's affecting everybody. Everybody is completely different, and we are being played to by the media or something. Something's going on out there. Yeah, sorry, you got me on a point here. I didn't expect to come straight on there.
So when you say we're all individuals, we're all being played, how is it affecting your life? I know you said everything's all right, but I had this conversation with a friend of mine before, and my friend's the same boat as you and probably the same as me. I'm a creative guy. I'm working. I've got a pretty stable family life. So in a sense, my own inner circle is pretty fine. However, I've still got to look at my wife that has to go through all the implementations in her work and for her to travel about. She'll come home and tell me, which will have feelings, emotional feelings, and incremental emotions that we'll gain from that over the course of time. I've got my daughters. One of them upstairs, is in university. The other one is in secondary school. So what I'm saying is, I've got to look at all these individuals and see how their life is. And that somehow mirrors the impact that I'm feeling, although I'm in a good enough state and strong enough in my will to be able to override it. Does that make any sense? So I use my controller, I get into my DJing, I'm doing my editing. YouTube has played a little bit of a good part because it's given me purpose, given me something to do, my work. So if you take all of that out and you look at how your friends, let me ask that, how are your friends dealing with this?
So, like I say, I've worked right through the Salmon Milkman. I've worked right through this. No change to my life personally. Nothing has completely changed to me, barring what I can see it's doing to others around. And people, like you say, I hear callers on here. Kaz was great before. People are being affected for something that back in March when lockdown started, I mean, even the government straight away changed it from a deadly thing to nothing more than a flu. So, and then straight away as well, masks. Got no evidence on masks working whatsoever. I'm ex-military. I know that masks. You need a specific mask to deal with shit like this. Sorry for swearing. And yeah, that's that. The hype that the media are pushing and everything that's what's affecting people, not the actual coronavirus itself. It's the media and the government pushing something and scaring everybody.
How bad is it affecting your friends and family? Is there any bad parts where you're really looking and going, well, I'm all right, but bloody hell,
no.
Your mate Tommy, he's really, going through it.
No, don't know anybody. We do know people, yes, people at work, people have had it confirmed on the test. No, they haven't stayed at home. No ill effects. You know, to come home. I understand that obviously there is. I know that the flu kills a lot of people at this time of year. This when they're putting the death rates up. Oh, it's you died of coronavirus. You could have been hit by a bus 2 weeks later. Come on, we know this. And they're putting you down to coronavirus. You haven't died from coronavirus. You died from something different. Come on.
There is that potential, and that's one of the key points, isn't it? And you can't argue against that. You
No.
can't, unless you actually isolate and literally go, well, that's it. We can see that that's happened, but it's ambiguous to say that within that period. So that alone will put anxiety on people. I mean, the same again when you've got your funerals and this, that, and the other. You could potentially have thousands and thousands of people that have been miscategorized.
Yeah, there's dying of and dying with. There's two different things. And I heard something just this week that the reason that COVID is put down on the death certificate is for the way that the body's handled when it's buried, consumed, cremated.
Well.
Thank you. So yeah, but the figures are being escalated by the government for some reason of their own, or not just the government. Somebody, I don't know. I'm not going to go conspiracy theory anyway. So.
Where do you see the future? Where can you see you in the future with what's going on and the way it is for your family members, for people around, going to live and whatnot?
At the moment, well, for me personally, like I say, I live alone. I work right through this as a milkman. I've not seen any. I've delivered to hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of customers. Speak to a lot of people. Not seen anybody that's really had anybody that's died from it. I know that there are obviously people may have done with certain conditions as well, underlying conditions. Many of us just carry on. Life is just carrying on. Family members are only being affected by lack of work, lack of income. That is killing a lot of minds. There's people breaking down out there for businesses not being able to survive. It's crazy. Absolutely.
Do you know
crazy.
of anyone with a personal business that's been affected by this?
Personal business, yes. I've got a brother that owns his own business, building company. Through the first lockdown, yes. It's right. But then obviously people, I mean, this lockdown now that we're in isn't a lockdown. I know what the first lockdown was like because I was out there on driving around and the roads were dead. I mean, even the animals had taken the streets back, and I'm talking everything was in the middle of the streets through the night, through the day, when everybody was on. The roads were dead, but the animals were taking the street back. It was like there was a zombie apocalypse of some sort. But now, this lockdown, it's like there is no lockdown. Everybody's driving around. Everybody's kind of ignoring it now, and people are starting to wake up, which is what we need.
There are more and more. Well, what do you what response do you get when you knock on doors? And I guess you just drop milk and go, but what personal one-to-one? I mean, I know the milkman has always had that rapport with people. Has that changed when you do encounter people?
Well, since lockdown, we've obviously, since this coronavirus started, we no longer collect, but I do have customers coming out thanking me. I mean, just like the NHS, we get claps, we get thank you'd, and we left little notes in the morning saying thank you very much. We appreciate everything you've done. Christmas cards this year have been phenomenal.
Wow. Nice.
Yeah, I mean, I appreciate everybody so much for what they've done, and it's been hard for a lot of people, and I just can't wait for this to finish.
Don't worry, mate. Mate, you know me, I'm half French, so I don't think I'm worried about the odd one. But
mate, I was sorry, I just want to say I was the very first day in Piccadilly Gardens when that woman was screaming at you and shouting at after the demonstration. I was stood right behind you, mate.
Really?
Yes, I was stood right behind you, and I've followed you once. I recognised your face on YouTube, and I followed you since then, mate. Wow. And I applaud you for what you're doing and putting some voice out there, mate, and letting people listen.
And you know,
I'm going to get out the way and let some. Sorry. Go on.
Well, I'm going to let. What I will say is, mate, thank you. What your message seems to be saying is, live your life as normal.
Yep.
Live your life as normal. You know what I mean?
If you feel vulnerable and you're scared of the flu, the normal flu, then isolate. But other than that, get on with your lives, guys. Come on, take the masks off and let's carry on.
Excellent, my friend. Dana, you have a good one, mate. And
take care, guy.
You too, mate. And we'll speak soon, no doubt. Thank you very much for that.
Take care.
Cheers, mate. See you soon.
Good night.
Wow. Excellente. Excellente. I'm loving this. I don't know whether I've got time to see everyone, though, because I've got one, two. Whoa. I've got to see Tracy first. And then we've got an echo here, and we've got Jonathan Hobbs. And I've got to speak to both of them at least. But at the same time, I'll tell you now, I've got the wife coming home at 6 o'clock. I've got some butterfly chicken and I've got some potatoes in the oven. And I've got some peppers to stuff. So I'm not saying I'm not buzzing. I could stay here all night and I could really see how this could turn into a 3-4 hour show, just going from one to one. So without further ado, let's bring Tracy into the room.
Hey, hiya.
How you doing, Tracy?
I'm good. I'm good. Despite everything that's going on, yeah, I'm good. But I'm good now speaking to other people. But whenever you're on your own and isolated so much, it's like we're created to have human contact, and when that's taken away from us, our very nature is absolutely. Our core being is, you know, we're made for human contact. We're made for human interaction. And I suppose what I wanted to say was, this where I live here, you know, it's an estate, and the whole clapping thing. When the clapping thing started, I felt pressure, big pressure, and I thought, no, fuck them. You know, I wasn't disrespectful, but I thought, fuck them. I'm going to stand on what I think. And I was the only one in the community that didn't do it. But I had a nice decking out the back. And I went on every single night that they did their clapping and woo, yeah. I was outside with the headphones on, listening to something positive, just to forget it. And drinking a glass of wine in my own wee world. But I was free in my own wee world, you know. And it is, we need human interaction, but sometimes there is solitude and we have to kind of take the best out of that we can, you know, and it can turn us bitter. It can turn us really bitter. And I don't know, over time, I've been tested and tried around the last year, really. Yeah, since the first lockdown, I've made enemy after enemy, and I'm trying my best to keep peace, but it's like they're in my face everywhere I go, and they're going, she's different. And I'm like, yeah, I fucking am different. And yeah, I'm proud to be different. You can just do what you want to do.
Is this because of their interpretation of COVID and how they want to deal with it and the rub off with your attitude towards it?
Yeah.
So do they feel that you're being a bit reckless?
Yes, irresponsible.
Right.
I mean, one day in the shop, a guy that I'd known for a long time, you know, we used to have a drink together the odd time. And he looked at me and he said, he pointed to his mask and he said, where's yours? And I looked and I said, I'm not wearing one. And why do I have to explain that to you? And he said, I don't really know what he said. And I went, sorry, I can't hear you. And I said, well, I can't hear you. You're not communicating. You're not understanding what these masks are doing to people. And I said, how can you expect anybody to communicate? You've got a barrier against any communication. And he said, you're the problem. My uncle died 2 weeks ago in London, And I said, well, I'm sorry for your loss, but I am not going to put a mask on and start putting myself into panic attacks. I am having a panic attack looking at you right now because of my fear as a child being in a dentist that scared the life out of me, that I'm even afraid to put my face underwater. So don't ask me to wear a mask. I can feel my heart pumping now when I'm thinking about it. And then it was like, what is going on? This crowd of people. I was walking up the street and these masks were coming at me, and I'm like, oh, please, God. You know, that's how it felt to me. But that was, even if it felt like that to them, they did it anyway. But, you know, I've been mixed up in a lot of things. And this guy brought up religion. I think in these cases, not to talk about that, you know, we're humans. All right, we're finding our own way. Everybody's on their own journey. And I wouldn't force my journey on someone else. But everybody's journey is unique. And to deny feelings, deny we have feelings is wrong too. It's wrong. And that's what's wrong. This stiff upper lip. And it's got worse since COVID. That last lady actually was right. It's divided so many people. And that in itself is not good for humanity. We're sociable people. We're made to be sociable people. We learn from each other. You know, iron sharpens iron, that sort of thing.
Kaz was so strong because she nailed it. She can see the way it's ripping apart society. But on the flip side of it, she can see what she has to do as an individual to bring her back self to something that's not going to make her descend into this pit of anxiety, this pit of depression. It's twofold, isn't it?
I found a way through the whole thing, and I had to just form a routine for myself. And it was like you said, we do have to love ourselves, and that's not loving ourselves as somebody might pick it up. Oh, yeah, I'm so, you know, to be vain in that way. It's not, it's care, it's self-care, it's mental care, it's self-hygiene, it's eating well, it's exercising well, it's studying helps your mind, you know, find some way of bringing some sort of, during this whole thing, to learn something about ourselves as human beings. And that lady said about smiling, keep smiling. Keep smiling. It might infect someone else. If you smile and have a laugh and have a bit of comedy, loosen up.
Yeah.
We've still got life. We're still alive. And so while we have life, don't die, you know. That's how I see life, you know.
It's a sobering way of putting it. Really is, Tracy. I mean, let's face it. We have got people dying regardless of many different things in this world, and it's horrible whatever they die of, COVID being one, and the nature of it and the psychological, you know, and what's going on, but ultimately we are here. We have got a unique experience and a journey, and yes, we have just been, if we're at a blackjack table now, we've been dealt the worst hand of cards, and it's almost, how am I going to win with this?
That's what it feels like. That's what it feels like.
So do we need to start shuffling round on a personal level to get your card to a decent place where you can then manifest out? It was interesting when I spoke to somebody else before, Strong Angel, and I asked him a question. What do you regard more important at this moment in time, yourself or your country? Now, it's not to say that you're not patriotic. I don't want people to miss the point here. So by answering yourself, it doesn't mean you're unpatriotic. It means if you're not looking after yourself in this time, it doesn't matter what feelings of affection you've got for your country. If you're 2 sheets away from taking Valium or having an argument because you can't cope, then that is personal within you, and whatever's manifest to make you do that. So same again, I'll ask you that question. What would you say, Tracy? What's, at this moment, I think you kind of know the answer. What's more important, yourself as a person on a spiritual level, or your country?
Myself. I have responsibility to myself. I have responsibility to the being that I am, to the created person, you know, that I am. And I've learned that very, very clearly because I've had nobody. it's all the only, well, my family. We've nobody's had anybody, you know. And I'm going to share something really personal. I don't want to stay on too long to take the time up, but before this happened, I was just getting over a rape that had happened to me, you know, and I was already in solitude. But this whole thing made me go within myself and think, you know, if I can get over this and come through this, I can prove to myself that, you know, if I take care of myself, start taking care of me, then I am going to be strong for my family. I'm going to be strong for my grandchildren. I'm going to, you know, I'm going to teach them the ways to teach them how to care for others, how to love other people, how to extend your hand a wee bit further than you normally do.
How much respect do you think you're going to gain from other people that can see that what you've gone through and the way that you're trying to deal with it?
Probably not very much.
No, I mean, you've not answered that very well there, Tracy. No, I mean, what I'm saying is that what you've just said, and thanks for divulging that. You didn't have to, but thank you anyway.
Well, I'm free. I'm free. I've been set free with it. I'm okay. I'm healed, you know, and I healed through this period of solitude. And so,
Brilliant.
in a way, it's good. It's good
Brilliant.
now. Yeah.
Carol, you're a survivor.
Yeah.
That is
Of
a
course.
survivor's mentality, and
Yeah.
I love that. I never want anyone to go through that, but the way you've owned what's happened to you on a personal level, like anyone has had anything negative happen to them on a personal level,
Yeah.
and own it and move on as an individual, and not let that be a consequence of their downfall.
Yes.
That's the ultimate, you know, and it's not easy. I'm not saying it should be, you know, get over it. It's never that easy.
You know, I had to forgive because, and that's not the excuse. No, it's not about excuse. It's for me to free me. So that's where self-love is. You know, it's not for other people. You know, I had to hand that to a higher being to deal with. Otherwise, I'd have been tortured forever. You know, I couldn't continue to do this. I will say to me, God did it. Okay, that's the only way I can explain it, because I couldn't have done it because I was alone. You know, but I went through intense counselling, very intense counselling, and I couldn't have been without these women in my life. So that's why I'm saying what you're doing here. I mean, there's not many men that do this. Not many men have the balls to do what you're doing.
What am I doing? I'm only on a channel.
You're bringing something out that needs to be. You're showing what a man is, not what a man, the stereotype of a man should be. No, do you know the man? What a man is. My father was a man, and I knew it the first time he cried in front of me. He was a strong man, and I knew he was, but I just knew underneath, you know, he always cared and loved. But that's what I'm saying. I can see what the other guy's saying, where he's coming from, but we're not on that. We weren't talking about that. We're trying to look beyond that and feel.
Heal each other.
Yeah, yeah.
Tracy, you know, and your conversation, what you've said, there's going to be countless people that are going to resonate. That's going to make them internalize. They might not have the same issues. They might have worse issues. They might have exactly the same issues. It's not a competition here. What you've said in the way that you've said them is going to make people sit and reflect on their own being. And that's what this is designed for, as well as you being able to talk. You know, we're all here to heal each other with this. And it might sound come by Irish, but a video is doing the same thing. It's evoking comments, it's evoking people to say. So I want to get more personal with that. And thank you for acknowledging what I'm trying to do. I'm not qualified in any way.
No, Phil, you're very, very humble. Through the whole Tommy thing, I was really into that. I loved it. It was just I just loved it. But I didn't get anywhere apart from Belfast, you know. anyway, it was a progression, but you were always there, and I loved watching your stuff, and I seen you being attacked left, right, and centre, and then for a while I left everything because I was trying to heal myself. But there were splits left, right, and centre. But anyway, you were always humble. That's what I saw in you. You were humble, and you didn't mind admitting if you were wrong. In a way, you know, that's truly a man to me. In my eyes, yeah, that's truly that's truly a man in my eyes. Is humble. Yeah.
Eternal
my
blessings, Tracy. Honestly, and we're all here together. And you know, what you've provided in this past 5-10 minutes is just as important as what I've done in the past 4 years.
Well, I'm privileged to be here, so and I'm still going to be hanging around. So so anyway, I'll let the next one go.
You have a great evening and be blessed, Tracy, and we'll speak soon. Okay.
God bless.
See you.
Bye
Bye.
bye.
Bye. Wow. Wow. Loving this. Right. I've only got time for one more, guys, because it's 25 past. So what I will say is this has been fantastic in so many different ways. I will have a regular slot like this if that is what you want. If you don't want it and you've seen what's gone on today and thought, no, just stick to your editing, then that's fine. The connections I've made with people here has been worthwhile for me on a personal thing, but it's how you feel, and do you want that as content? Is it helping you on a personal level? Is it making you see things in a different light? Is it inspiring you to change things in a different way? These are all things that I want people to think of when they're watching these clips. So you let me know on that. Yes, vote one. Yes. Yes. Come on, Paul. Yes, Anne. You're a star. You're always a star. Oh, brilliant. Excellente. Mucho lovo. Honestly, really. So, I don't know how to play this now because I've literally got 10 minutes, guys. I've got Echo and Jonathan. Now, I'm not going to get rid of any of them without having... and Jonathan's first, yeah? Is that right? Is it? I'm not sure who was in first, but what I'll do, I will come on next set. Yes, Amanda, thank you. Brilliant. Well, that's it then. We've got a regular slot coming up, and I'll give you pre-warning as well. So what I would like to do, guys, or it may be a lady with Echo, 5 minutes each. Is that okay? 2 minutes. You only need 2 minutes, Jonathan. 2 minutes? What? Well, let's see. He's got it wrong there. Right. Echo, I'll leave the best till last. Let's get Jonathan in. Let's see what he's got to say. Jonathan.
Hi, Phil. How you doing, mate?
I'm not bad, mate. How are you, sir? Thank you for being patient, sat in the background.
Oh, you're absolutely welcome. Can you hear me okay?
Perfect, mate. Probably the best audio out of all of it. How are you feeling?
Brilliant, brilliant. I'm feeling good. I know you want it to be on a personal level, so I'm going to give it on a personal level. I work at a college.
Yeah.
In the SCN department. Yeah, and what I've seen our students go through because of the lockdown, because of being off college, because some people are being in college and the virtual meetings, it's devastating. It's absolutely devastating. I was talking to somebody called Claire in the chat earlier on, who said that her 8-year-old daughter is not allowed to go to school because Claire is not a key worker. And Claire's daughter hasn't got an EHCP at 8 years old. How does that happen? That she hasn't got that at 8 years old? Yeah, just gutted. Yeah, I'll keep this brief. Yeah, I was gutted, and I'm constantly gutted for our students. And I know that you know, a lot of people don't have very much faith in the education establishments, but I've worked, you know, for like over 20 years with people with disabilities.
How's your colleagues taking it, if you don't mind me asking?
Same as me.
Mm.
Absolutely.
This is the thing that we don't. This is why it's brilliant talking to people with, you know, different variety of jobs and outlooks with that as well, because I've only got a perception of the school from the outside or the university from the outside. So from your perception now, or from my perception rather, it'd be easy for me to say, well, you know, all the liberal schools, all the liberal universities, they're very progressive. They're just going for this, and they want, you know. What is it from your perception of the staff that you meet and you talk to, without naming names and giving theories, but generally how they feel and what they can see with the students that they're working with and their own family lives?
Absolutely, and I can appreciate your point of view and many others' point of view. We're gutted. All of us are absolutely gutted. The teachers, the support staff. We want it to be back to normal. We want all of our students in, yeah, because we enjoy seeing them. You know, we know that they get so much from being with other people in the classes. The interaction, the lessons, everything. You know, none of our students want to be at home, you know, looking at a screen for 1.5 hours a day, you know, where we're trying to teach waste management or English or maths or whatever. We want it to be back to normal, and I think it's unfair that in the news or in the MSM and the newspapers that teachers have been slated for not wanting the students in to keep safe. It's not the case. We all want our students back in.
I mean, you're going to be front of house, Jonathan. You're going to see the true life effects of the detrimental effects psychologically with students.
Yeah.
Once they're out the family unit, they're going to be there in what they regard as their comfort zone. So you'll be able to see straight away. I mean, you mentioned before, do you truly get 100% productivity out of a child at any time? But particularly when they can sit at home, particularly when in some cases they won't have to be on camera. So there's an element of motivation that's going to be lost. So same again on a trickle level after a year of that, what student is going to walk back into the school? What condition are they going to be in?
Absolutely, of course. Personally, we are finding that our students now are engaging more in this supposed fucking lockdown, sorry about the swear word, than they did in the first lockdown, you know, like March onwards. You know, so we're finding that more and more of our students are actually engaging in the virtual lessons and social meets as well. We always make sure on a Friday that we have a social meet so that the students that are at home can actually talk to each other.
Right.
Yeah.
Or part of some form of health and well-being, and at least if that's all you can do, it's something.
Yeah, exactly.
Channel, yeah.
Yeah.
Because let's not forget, there'll be a lot of kids that will be maybe in environments within the family that's not very comfortable for them. And in some ways, the school was a release, the friends was a release, the university was the release. Talking to their favourite teacher who maybe could not so much put a hand round the shoulder, but literally, metaphorically, verbally do that. So that's been taken away from them now.
Well, to be honest, if any of our students are in and they are upset or distressed, I'll put my hand around their shoulder.
So you should, mate. So you
should. And I'll always will.
Yeah. So one last question, sir. What keeps you in a good place through this?
Keeps me in a good place is that That's a strange one. I haven't thought of it. I mean, my partner and my daughter and my son is quite woken, really. He introduced me to the flat Earth. He came to me one day and said, "The Earth's flat, Dad." And I said, "Oh, give me 15 minutes. I'll soon sort this out for you." Anyway, I didn't.
So your
Yeah,
family
so
unit is still very tight then? You still all getting, no one's losing the bearings with all this within the Link family itself?
no, my daughter, she had a son last 10th of February last year, and I've only been able to hold him once, and that was at Christmas. My daughter is terrified because she just watches the news all the time. So she's constantly fed all the bullshit, all the fear mongering.
Yeah.
And I can't say anything to her. I can't say, "Look, listen, Katie, you've got to let go of what is coming out of the BBC or ITV or whatever, and you've got to look at something else." But she won't, and she makes me feel like an idiot, to be honest.
But this is the splits and the division within. I mean, we've seen this on Brexit marches. We've seen this with Black Lives Matter and All Lives Matter. We've seen it on so many different topics, gender topics, nature. This is the division. And this is the sad bit, that this is almost like the winner of all the divisional things that can split people, divide people in a family. Talking about Trump at a table could have done this, but this, if you can't hold a baby or someone else is scared of going anywhere near because of their rationale on how they interpret it, but yet to a degree, have they got COVID? If they haven't, then they're truly listening to the fear on the what if kind of mechanism. Just like terrorism was designed for that reason. If we can put it into the mind of people that your next door neighbor could be a terrorist, they could pop up at any point, they could have a knife, that changes the game plan on how people perceive other people and this, that, and the other. So then all the different right-wing factions that come in to fight and divide, it split us all right up. So for me, that is the saddest thing when you speak about that. What positives do you utilize to get back together again? Because I don't want to make this sound too doom and gloom, because I'm sure you're very close family.
Oh, it's all right, mate. No, the positives is that I choose my battles. You can't attack somebody on everything that they say. You've got to choose your battles, and you've got to choose them wisely. And if you think that you have a real case about it, and to be honest, sometimes I haven't chosen my battles. I've kept quiet when I know that I am right.
That's hard.
It's hard. It is hard. Yeah, it really is hard.
Because you've got a fine line, mate. Because you can quite easily go from that to being, I'm going to open my mouth every time I've got something to say. And sometimes that's not always the best position. You know what I mean? Like you say, you've got to know when to hold a line. If you've got an extreme lefty in front of you, telling them exactly how you feel might be great. Get it off your chest. But if you want that person to truly listen to you and come to that kind of middle position, then maybe choose when to say something, how to approach it, what they're talking about. Maybe this is a good time to find a bit of common ground on that point, because it's all about ultimately coming together. It's not about, I'm going to spit out 5 minutes of what I'm saying and I'm right and I'm going to walk away. I don't even care whether you call me a Nazi, because that's then ultimately achieved absolutely nothing.
Absolutely. I feel that I'm quite a balanced person. And I to be honest, I've been doing okay, apart from the family thing, with my daughter and with the grandson, and my son is absolutely balls on right, with what's going on with the world. you know. But I feel that I'm quite balanced, and I haven't been depressed about it at all. I've just got on with what's going on.
Good.
You know, I know what is right and I know what is wrong, and I do resist the urge to point out to people that they may be wrong. You know, because it's like you said a minute ago, that the whole thing is so divisive, and I have taken up way much more than 2 minutes of your time, and I'm sorry, mate.
Pal. No, it's all right. I'm totally glad. Thank you for your patience and thank you for jumping on. And you're more than welcome. I'm going to do this again. So if you ever want to come back on, mate, thanks a lot for your contribution and what you've got to say.
Will do.
Good luck to you and your family, sir. Yeah.
And you as well. Thank you very much, Phil.
No problem,
all
mate.
Right. I'll sausage off now then.
All right, sausage off. That's a statement. Sausage off. I've never heard that one before. Toodle pip. I'm sausaging off now. See you later. Right, I've got to get right in because I've got literally 5 minutes. So I do apologise, Echo. Best till last, I guess. I hope you understand and I hope you've been very patient, mate. How are you doing, sir? You okay?
No worries, mate. Can you hear me okay?
Yes, perfect, mate. How are you?
Fantastic. I'll keep it short and sweet. Nothing. It's a good subject to speak about. I tried to do one of these videos around like how people feel, so I thought that is very important. It's everyone locked in, their psychological well-being. And what I realised is that the nation is going through grief. Because it's okay for old fuckers like us. Like I assume you're at my age, like 45-ish, something like that. Yeah. So 50, yeah. See, well, I'm 40, so whatever. Our lives have been kind of done, haven't they? Really, in terms of like, so staying locked in our house, not being able to go anything. It's kind of by the by. I work in IT. I work from home anyway. I've done for the last 10 years. The grief I have is, imagine being an 18-year-old growing up turning 18 in 2020. No festivals, no parties, no nothing. So that's I feel grief, and everyone knows the 5 stages of grief, but I just want to add one to the end of it, just for us older generations. I'll keep this short and sweet for you. Is obviously there's denial, anger. I don't know. Everybody is in different. What I've noticed when you walk around, everyone is in different stages of this. Where I am, I'm in the East End of London. You can probably tell from my accent. I'm from Essex. But around here, most people are at the anger stage. And then like bargaining, some people are in bargaining, like wearing the masks and what have you. Some people are in depression. So I pushed through depression probably during the first lockdown, and then I reached acceptance. I reached acceptance with it. I thought, well, there's not much I can do other than do videos like yourself, and I salute you for your work that you've been doing. But where I'm at now is embarrassed. I just reached. This great nation of ours has fallen to what could be said, like if we're going to meet everybody in halfway, is a bad flu season. This great nation of ours, and it's so obvious what they've done in the manipulation.
It's not the flu, though, is it, Echo? And I'm not trying to disagree or try to change your thought process. It's the fear.
Yeah. No.
The oncoming fear of it, and it could be actually the fear of getting acne. In a way, I mean, take the COVID out of it. It's irrelevant what it is. It's the way they've pumped the fear on a certain subject to change the psychology, the psyche of the human individual. It's amazing, as well as it's dastardly, as well as it's disgusting, sickening. And if anyone was to go to an electric chair, it's the people who are sat back and actually never letting a good crisis go to waste. Echo.
No, indeed. Of course, everyone can see this. You know, like Wuhan and China are back having parties and raves and everything. You can see them everywhere. They're having parties, and we can't even go see Granny because we might kill her because of the sniffles. We can't do anything. Like kids can't go to school. I pulled my kids out of school in the first lockdown just because I read the COVID Act and around the new powers that they could control your kids in private education, thinking it'll only be for like 3 or 4 months, but it's been like a year now. My kids have like missed out on school, and so that's what I'll keep it short and sweet, mate. But I just think like as a whole, I don't want to speak for the whole, but I think individually, everybody are at certain stages of grief. And I've
Yeah.
kind of worked through it and got to embarrassment. Because when you're out and about, and I've been henpecked and thrown out of Tesco's on whatever for not wearing a mask or whatever, and they all just come out of the woodwork, didn't they? Like these virtue signaling Karens. And I just stand there. I end up cringing. I go, oh, it's just the embarrassment of it.
Yeah, how it's turned people against one another. Ultimately, I think of these people that work in these shops, and everyone's got a job to do. So, you know, we've all got to do a crap job in order to earn money. I get that. It's the ethical or unethical aspect of certain jobs. Track and trace. Yeah, if you pay £9 an hour, that's great. But bullying people via the way of texts and phones for a living, that's not my way of earning a living. Ultimately, people have got embalmed bodies. I guess whatever it is that you know, some people will find a passion in that. So everyone is different and individual in that. But ultimately, I'd like to think I do a job where it will help people. It's not going to hinder people. And we've got this at the moment now. There's an ecosystem that started and generated off the demise of people. So you've got your track and trace. You've got your other wardens that will walk around with police members, making sure people are doing A, B, and C. You've got people in Tesco's and all over supermarkets that are now marshalling and bullying down people to make sure they. And it's like, this is an ecosystem of hate that people are getting paid to do. And then, if you've not got the right individual in that job, you're actually pumping them up to be a person that they don't want to be. Because you don't want to give someone power when they're not intelligent enough to use that power. That's the other thing as well, that people will get the rub off like yourself. It only takes you to encounter a shopkeeper who's a knobhead, who looks at you and go, mate, I'm just going to have you. And it's like, what, really? You know? But
yeah,
mate,
I don't argue with them. I was like, like yourself. I just seen thought, well, this is going to sound arrogant, and you think like a store manager of like a high street store, and you think if I just wreck their life, their day, like all I'm going to do is make myself feel better and walk out and make them feel like crap. So I don't bother. I just go, all right. With my embarrassment feeling, I end up feeling embarrassed for other people.
Yeah.
And I just leave the situation.
That sounds like to me, mate, that you're acknowledging the energy, realizing it's stinky as anything, and going, you know what, I don't want that energy. I'm out of there. And that's all it is. And that's not a weakness, my friend. That is a strength. The weakness is not being able and having to react and this is why this show is so important, because if we are not showing strength now, if we're letting our weaknesses form bigger chasms within ourselves, we're going to lose it. We're going to have arguments. We're going to have rows with our missus. We're going to have divorces, which are going through the chart at the moment. You're going to, drink's going to be your best friend. So we've got to realizing that we're not all strong individuals. We all have got some form of weaknesses that are going to be stretched like an elastic band here now. So we've got to be in place. But mate, I've loved this chat. I'm sorry I've had to keep you short, but you have been the best till last. You said a minute ago about doing videos. Are you a YouTuber yourself?
Yeah, I in the first lockdown, I did some videos, but recently I've been doing some more. So feel free to subscribe. Then they're nothing on the level.
What's your name, mate? Is that your actual name on YouTube? Echo.
Yeah, Echo Chamber. Yeah.
Echo Chamber. Echo Chamber on YouTube. Please subscribe to this guy. Obviously, it's clear that he's seeing things on a rational level. So thank you very much, Echo.
I could speak all day, but I'll let you get to your dinner.
I've got to meet the wife, and then I've got to get them peppers on, mate, because if I don't, you know what I mean, I'm going to have more to worry about than that. But, mate, thank you for your patience, and thank you for your contribution tonight. Have a great evening, sir, yeah?
You too.
Cheers, mate. Bye-bye now. Wow. Well, sorry, guys. I am literally going to have to run, but I really did enjoy that. It's been the best part of a 2-hour stream, and I can see now, in order for this to be done properly, I'd probably need like a 4-hour window just to do what happened there. It naturally, people jumped in, took the turn, and literally. So thank you very much. Thank you for everyone who has had the patience and stuck throughout all this and watched it. Did you like what you heard? Did you like what other individuals? Is there anything positive you can get from that? Is there anything that you can hear from them that you resonate with. Whatever the case, that's been the purpose. And also, we've all been able to get on a forum and chat instead of one person just gabbing away and other people in a comment section going, yeah, yeah, yeah. Let's turn the comment section into a face. So thank you to everyone who's come on. Kaz, Tracer, Strong Angel, Echo, and Jonathan as well. I'm sorry I couldn't do another 20 more, but you can see you can't just do 2-minute chats when they're of this nature, but certainly going to do this again. You're all brilliant. You're all brilliant. And thanks for being patient with me while I was trying to work out what the hell I'm doing on this. So with that, guys, I'm going to have to run. I've got some butterfly chicken to get on the go. Have a blessed evening, whatever you do. Keep yourself in a good place. And remember, we're not victims. We're not victims. We are survivors. I will survive, and I'm sure you will too. Love you all, even the pissing haters. Thanks a lot, Great Britain, Cater. You're both stars.
I love you. 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 I love you.
Even the pissing haters.
I love you. 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 I love you.